Hi, Jim Selbach. Today I want to talk about the need for enforcement of the automatic stay. Enforcement of the automatic stay is critical to the whole system of bankruptcy. Obviously, one of the major protections or advantages that debtors get is protection by the automatic stay. Obviously, they get their debts discharged, but also they get creditor harassment stopped. And when we meet with potential debtors, that's one of the main things that we talk about, is that you're being harassed, but once you file, you're going to be protected. But if it turns out that they're not really protected, the creditors can really kind of do what they want and no one's really going to do anything about it, it really impacts on the integrity of the whole system and affects their rights. Here's what one court said. The protections afforded by the automatic stay are meaningless if they are not enforced. 362K was enacted as a tool, we talked about in a previous video about mechanism, to enforce the automatic stay and provide individual debtors with a recourse for violations. Again, we talk to debtors and we get lots of feedback. And what we hear people say is, thank you so much that you did something about this. We do get occasionally a debtor that comes from a non-referring attorney, somebody we have no relationship with, and they'll say things like, you know, I filed bankruptcy and I got my discharge and they're coming after me and I went back to my attorney, he didn't want to do anything about it. I don't understand that, but look how that looks to a debtor. It looks like either the attorney doesn't care or the automatic stay and the discharge injunction are kind of a joke. That, yeah, it's on paper that you can't do this, but you kind of can do it and nothing's really going to happen. Now, this court says the automatic stay provision of the United States Bankruptcy Code is an extremely valuable and fundamental element of the bankruptcy filing. Unfortunately, its significance is occasionally ignored. What's the big deal? Why are you doing this? And are taken for granted and bears periodic reiteration. Enforcement. To preserve the integrity of the automatic stay provisions, to protect consumer debtors and creditors, Congress in 1984 enacted a mechanism, there's that word again, to address stay violations. If this mechanism isn't being used, if debtors counsel is just saying don't worry about it or sending out meaningless letters that are ignored, then it reflects on the system and the individual attorneys.